Hi everybody. Here today we're going to give you a really nice, nutritious, tasty little snack, guacamole, which you eat with corn chips. It's yummy. Hand you over to Ting.
สวัสดีค่ะจะมาทำอาหารง่ายๆเป็นอาหารเหมาะกับเครื่องดื่มเป็นสแน็คทำอะโวคาโดกับใส่หอมแดงมะเขือเทศแล้วก็มะนาวเลมอนมายองเนสแล้วก็ใส่เครื่องปรุงเกลือพริกไทยอร่อยมากนะคะเขาเรียกว่าguacamole.
Right, here are the ingredients for the guacamole. Of course, we start with a couple of avocados. These are from Peru, and by the look of it, they're Hass avocados. Dark, not soft, but they're ripe by. They'll take a bit of squeezing. We'll open them up anyway and see if they are indeed ripe. But we're doing 2 avocados, 2 tomatoes, which will be de-pipped, 1 shallot. There's some mayonnaise, just over a tablespoon of mayonnaise. We've got a wedge of lemon, and all of that gets mixed together, and you eat it with corn chips. We like the original unflavored ones, original flavor, just corn chips, Doritos. They have cheese ones, they have barbecue ones, but we like just the basic corn chip ourselves. And there'll be some salt, pink Himalayan salt, freshly ground, and some fresh black pepper. Right, so we'll get going in just a second. There are the 2 avocados opened up. You can see beautifully ripe, nice, good color flesh. No brown pieces in it. If there are brown pieces in it, you can whip them out. A lot of people leave them in, up to your own personal choice. But these 2 are looking pretty good. We've chopped the shallot, which is there, and we're just preparing the tomato now. You need to take the gungy bit out because it's really just for tomato flesh, which is why we're having 2 to provide enough in the mixture. So you basically scoop out the innards and leave the tomato shells like that. Okay, the tomatoes have been cleaned out and chopped up, as you will see there. There's no liquid around them, and it is important to get rid of the excess liquid inside the tomato. There's nothing worse than runny guacamole that sort of dribbles everywhere. The avocados are now scooped out of their skins, excluding the little bit where the stalk goes in, and scrape out as much as you can, because every little bit helps. And we scoop them into the bowl and then mash them with a fork, like so. I also forgot to mention that we don't put jalapeno peppers in like they do in Mexico. We usually use chili powder. Tonight we're using a bit of Japanese chili powder there, which has got some sesame seeds in it, I think. Anyway, you mash the other 2, and we come back to you. There we are. The avocados have been mashed. Came out beautifully out of their skins. It is worth mentioning here that The avocados that we used here were imported from Peru, very often from New Zealand, and Haas are the ones with bimbly skin, you know, bumpy skin. Smooth avocados are just as good if they come from the right place. We don't like local ones so much because the local ones, I don't know if they pick them too soon or whether they give them too much water, but they smell very green, and the meat is a bit watery, and they quite often arrive very bruised. And quite often you wait for them to ripen and you open it up and the whole thing's black. So we tend to spend a bit more to get the imported ones. And I mean, look at that. They mash up beautifully. Anyway, then another thing for the lemon. We put the squeeze of lemon in, partly for the flavour and partly because it stops avocados from going brown. Avocado meat or flesh goes brown when it's exposed to oxygen, and you can rather rate places that serve guacamole which is brown, because it means they haven't realized that a few drops of lemon juice will stop it from turning brown, and it adds a nice sharpish flavor. We put a bit of lemon in already. Now in go the shallots and the tomatoes for a good mix around. Avocado is terribly good for you. I won't list its nutritional qualities. Suffice to say, people have gone so crazy about it in recent years that avocado farms in Mexico and places are destroying the landscape and generally causing a bit of a problem because of humans' greed. Anyway, they are absolutely delicious and they are good for you. Once it's been stirred around a bit, we pop in the mayonnaise and continue slowly turning it round and going through it all until we get into a nice paste. At this point, we'll also add the ground pepper. It's impossible to give a quantity of ground pepper. I reckon probably half a teaspoonful, and a bit less than that of salt as well. It is so personal, I've realized, salt and pepper. You can see roughly how much we've put in, and a sprinkling of chili powder. I like more chili than my family do. You have to really try it and taste it while you're turning it over, and I reckon that the pepper is definitely 2 to 1 on the salt. Anyway, we'll keep on mixing that and come back to you in a second. Now we've added a little bit more, we've tasted it and added a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper and a little bit more chili. So as I mentioned, it's very much a personal choice. But look now how incredibly smooth that liquid is, that mixture is. You can of course vary, put more tomato in it or more shallot, or less. The lemon squeeze, a couple of squeezes from that wedge of lemon was absolutely perfect. And now we're going to serve it up. And there it is, served up in a bowl and ready to be enjoyed. Whether it's a snack or whether it's an appetizer, that's up to you. Or you can probably, really feeling greedy, have the whole thing as a meal. Looks good, tastes good, is good. Have a great evening.